Julian's garden. I hope you're all doing well. In the video today, I want to talk about, or I want to share with you how I get a decent amount of compost, or how I get very good compost out of my compost tumbler. And I know there's so many videos on YouTube, on the internet, talking about compost tumbler. They are very popular at the moment, and there's so many advantages of the compost tumbler and some disadvantages as well. I have both types, the compost tumbler like off the ground and the type that you can let them sit in the ground, like on the ground straight away. And I just want to talk with you the compost tumbler. And I'm not going to talk about like what do I think of the compost tumbler, or about the review about the type of the compost tumbler. I want to show you how to get decent amount or decent quality of the compost out of the compost tumbler, because I know maybe some of you guys might struggle how to get very good compost out of the compost tumblers, because most of the time I heard that the compost come out of your compost bin or compost tumbler, they often come very sticky. They not composted well, or mostly you just feel that they very just feel like the food scrap or the things you put in there, they just melting out or kind of rotten. They're not quite composted or composting. So here is one of my compost tumbler, and I filled this compost bins about 3 months ago, roughly, and after 3 months they came out quite good or quite decent compost like this, and maybe the other compartment. So a lot of you guys knows or use like 2 compartments of the compost bin tumbler like this. Like one side you fill full and then let them sit, and after that you fill up on the other side. But mostly I feel like I empty all of them, and after that I refill all of them. So now I got 2 sides of composters, because most of the time I got so many food scrap. I have so many pruning things, and as a shredded paper and kitty litters, and to fill them in. So most of the time I have no trouble finding the source for the compost tumbler. And so let me tip this compost bin out, and you can see how much I got in here, and you can see the textures of the compost I got. And I can talk to you about what kind or what element I put in there. Alright, so here's the result after I empty the compost tumbler. I think that's only 245 liter compost tumbler, and here's the result. Quite large container of the compost I got, but you can see some of the pieces here not quite composted yet, but I don't mind this, because I'm gonna use this for my tree. I'm gonna spread this around 2 of the trees that I recently just planted, and I really want something to top dress them, to keep their moisture and bring more nutrient for them. And it depends on the purpose. What do you use for your compost? And you might want to leave them a little bit longer if you really want them broken down more a little bit. But at the beginning I did put some quite big pieces of the roots in, so that's why they haven't quite broken it up yet. Not sure about this one though. But mostly they look they quite good and very moist, and so that's why they got some worm in here, because they love it. Very good and holding a lot of moisture, but yet still not very soggy and very smelly or not anything like that. So here another worm. Look, very nice. Oh, here another one. Can you see that? Crawling down here, and you can see the compost I got here is not quite dark black color like maybe you got it because I use kitty litters from my neighbor. They gave us. And you might wondering why I use kitty litter. Because the type of the kitty litter, they are compostable. So if you want to use it, make sure you do some research because some of the kitty litter, they're not good for the compost or not compostable. So for the materials, mostly I try to balance between the green waste and the brown waste. So green waste can be like kitchen waste. You can see in here I got a lot of kitchen waste, and even I sometimes I take from the kitchen, like this is from the paper towel roll or some maybe toilet roll. I can put in together in here as well because at the end they end up in the compost bin. And you see, I have coffee ground and a lot of apple cores and all the mandarin peels and tea bags, and you can see the. I don't know what the type of the tea bags. This one is compostable as well, but maybe some of the brand they're not composted. So maybe you want to find out if the tea bags that you drink and is it composted or not. But yet a lot of the other green waste that I got from the garden, you can see some of the clipping or pruning, and this one is a green waste as well. You can see it's very green. They're not woody at all. And then for the brown waste, I use card box, or whenever if someone gives to me like shredded paper, I use shredded paper. Sometimes I got some. This one, some like woody branches and some kind of leaf and the branches like this. I just cut down when if I have a time, I can cut some more shorter. But sometimes I just be lazy. But I will add it to the compost as well because on a little trick like this, they will have to bring some more air for the compost. So they maybe at the end this one is not quite composted yet, but I don't mind it. Maybe if you are picky, you don't want it, that's fine. But I use that as well. And for the main thing, I really want to mention the main component is I use good chips or the barks as well, or what you call it. And a compartment of the compost tumbler, I use very full until at the rim of the pot actually. This one is 20 liter of the container, and then I just put in each compartment. And this one is really help to bring some air or for the compost when it come down like this. So they're not sticky, going to like bone, like tally bone, going lumpy thing like this. So very good. And you can see after 3 months, you hardly see the good chips anymore. And so I say, because at the beginning I got trouble to how to make this compost bin to work. I got, I think, two times. The load come out just very sticky, very smelly together. It hardly composted at all. This one not quite composted yet, but I don't mind it. I think I did put very big pieces. But I do recommend if you put in the kitchen scrap or anything very big, very chunky, make sure you chop them or cut them into small size. So it's very easy to chop, otherwise it takes quite a long time for them to break down. And I heard that citrus, they will slow down the processing of composting as well. So keep in mind into that if you want your compost bin compost quicker. Yes, so the main, come back to the main component I want to mention. I really, since the time I use this one, it's really helped. It's really work to make the compost bin work. And so that's why I really want to make this video, and I want to share that with you. And it's own way you can adjust it. If you think your compost bin too dry, you can add a little bit of water, or you can add a little bit green waste in there, more kitchen scrap. But normally I try not to add the green waste because anytime you add green waste, you can make your compost bin very heavy, very hard to turn. And if you think if you think your compost bin is very very wet, you can add some more good chips. Just add some more good chips like this, or add some more brown leaves, and that's really help as well. And make sure you open the air vent. Make sure you open the air vent, and that will help to get the air out, and then to dry the material, the thing you put in there as well. And in my experience, in the rainy day, I often go out and close the air vents, because I do feel that if you got 1 or 2 days of rain and the rainwater leaking in and make the compost very wet and soggy. And on the top of you can see the door of the compost tumbler as well. I make sure to turn the door facing down to the other side. Let me show you like this. So I put the facing down to the other side. And then I close on the air vent, because I do feel that when it's rainy day, it make the compost very wet, very soggy. And now I'm gonna show you, maybe I will show you very quick how I just put things together in the compost tumbler. Let me turn it back. So normally I fill all the compartment full, and after that I let them sit for a week, and after that I refill the 2 compartments again until it's full, and then that's it. I just every time now and then I go out, I turn the compost tumbler maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and that's it. I'm not gonna add any more for kitchen scrap. I'm not going to add anything more into the compost tumbler, because if like that we keep adding it, the compost tumbler it takes so long to cook, decompose, and make the compost tumbler so heavy to turn, and that doesn't work. And maybe at the end the handle might be broken. So here first I want to put the green waste, or of course, you can add the brown waste first as well, doesn't matter. So example, I just try to fill in one compartment. So the green waste, some like in my garden pruning. I'm sorry about if you hear any noise from my neighbors. They got several kids actually. And here, so first I put it in. You can see that. And now I add some kitchen scrap, this in, and now I want to add, let me see if I can reach it. Okay, so over here I have only one, okay, like over a half of the container of the good chips, so I just add the phone in. I can try to get some more good chips to put on the other side as well, and some extra from this compartment. Cardboard, and if you have a shredded paper, yes, please add some shredded paper or dry leaf. Okay, I got it. Some more cardboard, and then I will have, like, on top of that, I often have kitty litter for my neighbors. And if you have a like kitchen poo or what is it, manure, anything, they are compostable and good for compost. You can add them in as well. And then some twigs and branches that I chop, I fill them in as well. And then I turn the compost tumbler. Yes, and so I just keep filling the compost tumbler until it is full. And after that, I let them sit for a week, as I mentioned, and then I fill them full again. And then that's it, no more filling. And we just turned them for every 3 or 4 times a week, and that could be very good mixture. You can see that. Look, it's very good mixtures already. And another thing is, I really highly recommend you to put your compost tumbler in full sun, because before I put this compost tumbler in, not in full sun, it was in part shade area, and I could compare between the ones in full sun and the one in part shade that I put, and the one in part shade it takes much longer to process. So I really recommend you to put your compost tumbler in full sun. In fact, all of my compost bin, the one in the ground, they are in full sun as well. And so when they got so much of heat, and they make a lot of fungi and bacteria. They process or working much faster, and so that's why you can get your compost out much quicker. And having said that, the one in the ground, that normally I use the one in ground for a very lazy way, like a lot of very big chunky one, I took to put them in there. I didn't want to bother like chopping up the one with the compost tumbler. So it's very nice to have two different type of compost beans, so it can balance between like very quick process and very longer process with the one in the ground. That's one, if you have have time, energy, and you can use the aeration or something to turn this, that will go much quicker. But the one in the ground, I never turned it, so normally I just let them sit there and taking quite a long time, maybe 8 months to get the compost out of the compost bin. But this one, the one in a compost tumbler, and I place it in full sun, and normally take around 3 months, roughly 3 months, either less or even just over a little bit, and I can get quite good amount of the compost like I showed you earlier. And so that's this guy. I hope this all the information I giving you is useful, and I hope that you can have a beautiful compost come out the compost tumbler that you got. And thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in next video. Bye bye.